Hello, Theories of Counseling, and welcome to week one of the course. I am Professor Schmidt, and it is an honor to serve alongside you as your professor for this course. I'm excited, and I think that there's some great stuff in store for you as you work through this course. Each week, in addition to giving the tips and reminders, which you've already seen in the first part of the announcements this week, I also will offer brief biblical connections or brief biblical insights into the content that we're studying that week. I think it's very important that you make these connections to the foundational biblical truths in this very noble line of work, which we call counseling. And so each week I'll be connecting these to some biblical aspects that are going to be essential in understanding the content from a biblical worldview. We can't ever forget just how important it is what we're doing in the line of counseling. Should you choose a career in the field of counseling, this is a highly, highly noble and very important career field, as you'll see this week, because the thing I want to point out is that you are dealing with people who are image bearers. And that's the first point that I want to make in this video, starting out week one, that you're helping those who directly and only resemble God. People are the only things in all of the universe that have a direct stamp of God in them. Genesis 1:27 tells us, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them." As man is created by God, there is an image of God in man, right? And we have to understand how important that is. We're not dealing with anything else. We're not dealing with another species or another concept or another idea. We're dealing with image bearers themselves that directly bear the image of God. Now, what does it mean to bear the image of God? That's a whole theological concept in itself. But we have to understand the importance. That's what I really want to draw out, is the importance of what you are doing when you have another individual sitting in front of you going through trials or tribulations or issues in his or her life, needing direction, and you there as the counselor must offer guidance. And that is a very important and a very biblical concept to help another image bearer as they sojourn through this life. Because the second point I want to make is that you are acting in the field of counseling as an instrument through which God will use to shape another person's life. The advice and things that you say can be the difference between a person going this way or that way, between two different possible decisions they might make, or if they go towards healing or if they go towards more destruction. It's a very, very important position to be into. Ephesians 1:11 tells us that Christ himself gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and the teachers to the church. And you might be thinking, well, Professor Schmidt, as I read that, I don't see the word counselor in there at all. Well, it's there. Definitely each one of these individuals would offer counsel, but this last term here, teachers, is really one who is speaking truth to another. And we know that because if we look down at Ephesians 1:15, we see a continuation of this concept where Paul tells us that we are to speak the truth in love, and by doing so, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of him who is the head, that is Christ. So in other words, God has given individuals and equipped them so that they are able to speak the truth in love to the body of Christ and build them up. As a counselor, this is largely what you will be doing, is speaking the truth to people in love. What is it that individual needs to see? What is it that they need to hear in that particular time or in that particular week or month or season in their life? So we must make sure that we take the role of a counselor very seriously, for we are dealing with people who bear the image of God. And that's just what I wanted to present you with this week, is just to really reflect on how important it is. And I pray that you will pay attention, that you will be very engaged and very focused as you go throughout these next 8 weeks. I pray that you'll be motivated. I pray that the Lord will sustain you in your studies. And I pray that you'll gain some great insights from some really, really good, fantastic, brilliant, and sometimes interesting and odd individuals in the field of professional counseling and psychology. All of these people, though, keep in mind, whether they professed Christ or not, all of them were image bearers of God. Every man, every woman that's born in all of history is an image bearer. So there's much to be learned from them. But don't ever forget, should you choose to go in the field of counseling, how important that role is as you deal with fellow image bearers of God. And so that's it for this week. Let me know if you have any questions. I've given you the tips. The reminders will come Wednesday or Thursday or so. And feel free to reach out at any time. And look forward to engaging with you this week. And I'll be back in week 2 with another brief biblical insight.